Hello, hello, hello. It is your girl, Sugar and Spice, also known as the Avatar. By me only, but still. So today I am discussing tarot myths debunked. Now, leave it to a Gemini to take something chaotic and create an opportunity out of it. I recently had a tweet that was really exaggerated and meant to be funny about why everyone should learn tarot. And, I got dragged. I got dragged all over the internet. People were like, no, like it's ancestral, like only Africans or like indigenous people can learn it. And then other people were like, no, you're gatekeeping. Anyway, it was just like a mess. So, I don't take it personally. I was just like, okay, some points were made. Why don't I just go find out? So that's exactly what I did. I busted open the Akashic Records. For those of you that don't know, the Akashic Records are referenced in a lot of Bibles as the book of life. Essentially, it's like a Google database on the reverse side of your heart. You can get to it via meditation, or you can have a practitioner like me help you access them. And yeah, it's like Google searching, why do I have this problem? And then like 8 different past lives come up, and it's like, oh, that's where it came from. Anyway, those are the Akashic Records. For those that don't know too much about them, I'll drop a link to an interview I did for them. And I asked about the tarot. I cracked open the Akashic Records, the Book of Life, and I was like, so who's right, who's wrong? Like, what's the deal? So first we're going to debunk a couple of tarot myths. And I kind of asked them to give me brief true or false statements for that half of the video. And then the next half is actually kind of a Q&A interview between myself and the records on behalf of aspiring tarot readers or people who are already doing tarot, things to be mindful of, etc., etc. So I hope it helps both aspiring readers, people that just like tarot, and really everyone. I hope everyone that comes across any content that I put out there finds some sort of value and helpfulness to it. All right, statement number 1. Tarot is devil's work. False. False in more ways than one. There is no powerful being that contests God. There is only God and the absence of God. Since God is everywhere, God is also found within the tarot. Tarot is only as evil as its practitioner, only as good and helpful as its practitioner. Next statement. They said next statement. They were done with me asking questions about the devil, but 2. Only certain people can learn tarot. True. I wasn't expecting this answer, but they said true. Some people just lack the capacity to learn it and use it for well-meaning purposes. Though this observation has nothing to do with cultural or ancestral practice, tarot is and always will be an equal opportunity to all. As with many other talents, just because the opportunity and even training is there does not mean a person will ever learn the tarot thoroughly. If their soul does not see the purpose in it, no amount of convincing or training will make a tarot reader out of them. This is okay, more than okay. Just try something else. So, I guess not everyone can learn tarot. Everyone can have the opportunity to learn it, just like I guess everybody has the opportunity to learn math, but I never fucking learned it. So I guess it makes total sense that, some things just don't click, and tarot and I clicked. Like we were old friends. Me and numbers, numerology, never got into that. Probably won't either, so it just is what it is. But again, nothing to do with cultural or ancestral, like none of that. No, stop. At that point, people are gatekeeping. That's just what they believe. But anyway, number 3, you have to be gifted your first deck. Perhaps in the old days, to be gifted your deck was a cultural custom born in Australia as a means to discern between those who were accepted into the practice and sworn to silence, or those who would learn and then betray their elders. This practice was unique to the Australian people and quickly spread throughout the world, no matter because it no longer applies. The tarot's time of secrecy and silence is over, never to return. Buy your deck if you feel called to. And if not, do your part in normalizing the conversation about the tarot anyway. An answered prayer, whether it is answered through tarot or not, is going to quickly become a way of life. There are no more silent gods. You can call upon the Creator any way you wish to and hear back. Something to be mindful of beyond tarot, even. Just the days of a silent god are over. Sit on that for a minute. Number 4, tarot businesses are scam artists. To some, maybe. As a collective, the scammers are big banks and large institutions like prisons and the tax systems. The people who scam you the most and in the most bitter ways are the ones who pay you too little for too much work that you hate to begin with. This is tentatively false as stated. Tentatively only because scam is subjective. A tarot reader can bamboozle or mislead you as your current spouse and work superior can as well. This is a broad statement of which many sideways discussions can be had, but for the intents and purposes of this video, we will deem this statement false. Tarot businesses can be legitimate healing practices as much as nutritionists and caretakers, etc., etc. They dropped some fucking tea. They said capitalism is the scammer. Well, I mean, I know that and that resonates, but like I still live here, so like I still have to deal with it. All right. Number 5, is it appropriate to make money from tarot? Yes. It is how many moving forward will make their living. Some may stop at tarot and become very powerful resources of healing and knowledge for others. Others will move on to other healing practices. Still others will continue to ignore their spiritual and emotional needs completely and earn money from an established job. All of this is fine and honest work. Providing guidance and healing can be very taxing and therefore should be compensated for. It always has been. In the olden days, spiritual healing was offered by shamans in exchange for food or shelter. Likewise, services now are exchanged for money that goes towards food and shelter. Perfectly permissible and appropriate. All right, so that was the first half. That was just kind of a couple of tarot myths that I wanted to debunk. So then once I got off my high horse and I was like, all right, your girl was right about everything, I wanted to ask some genuine questions. So this next half is kind of like more of a Q&A, not as concise, but still very helpful. 6, what is the purpose of tarot? Like, what's it for? Like, what did God invent the tarot for? The purpose of the tarot is to help one uncover the many layers of truth to this universe and your individual existence within it. Inside the tarot can be found your story, your mother's story, and the story of every human that has ever graced the earth. The tarot will never be mastered because it is ever changing along with its practitioner. The human experience expands and contracts, and so does the truth found within the tarot. The purpose of the tarot is to help a person see themselves as a universal truth and to see this truth in every living creature inhabiting the same planet. That's really heavy, but completely accurate to the life-changing journey that tarot has been for me. So I'm sure if you're another tarot reader out there, I'm sure you can vouch for that statement some way, somehow on your own. And if you are an aspiring tarot reader, I hope that kind of puts into perspective the kinds of concepts you'll just be learning about yourself and really applying. Speaking of aspiring tarot readers, what advice do you have for aspiring tarot readers? Do not seek greatness and glory from the tarot, as it will not provide it. Seek help from the tarot. The tarot will make you great as a result of first illuminating your every fear, worry, and secret. Again, the tarot cannot and will not be mastered. Someone else will always know more, see more, feel deeper than you. Understand that this is not your way to fame and glory. It is a way to your deepest truth, and that is more glorious than any treasure you could find in earthly fame and fortune. This truth doesn't expire the way money does, and this awareness remains consistent, unlike public opinion. That's a big fucking fact. Like, cancel culture is crazy nowadays, and money doesn't follow you when you die, but the truth that you can uncover about yourself and about just what it means to be a human being on earth will follow you long after you die. So I agree with that. I think that's the real treasure of tarot, is that what you take from it follows you across every lifetime. Sorry, I just wanted to sit on that thought for a moment because it's powerful. yeah, wow, that was powerful. Anyway, 8. Why is tarot becoming so popular nowadays? It is illustrative of the growing frustration with religious doctrine and institutions not properly suited to actually address the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of a human being. The tarot is but a small, tiny, minuscule show of rebellion and taking matters into one's own hands. This fight for spiritual autonomy and revision of existing thought systems will grow in size and speed over the next few years. It would be wise for one to pay attention to these signs and start figuring out where their loyalties lie and for what purpose. That was kind of a drag too. You know, our government is changing. We want different things than what is being proposed to us, etc. So I think by people trying to take back their spirituality through tarot, astrology, or whatever, it is indicative of a much larger need for change. And I'm not going to say revolution, but revolution. So yeah, I think it would be wise of us to really look at our systems and really question where our loyalties lie. Do we like government as it exists? Probably not. But, you know, can anybody propose a new, better system? Our education systems, what are our kids being taught? And through what lens are they being taught those concepts, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot to think about, and I think that's what they meant in that last part there. Number 9. In what ways does tarot affect a reader's life? It changes everything. It is not necessarily tarot that changes a person as much as the direct line of communication between a human being and unseen but influential energy forces. This realization is first experienced by many through the tarot. The tarot cannot discern the information given. It will tell you the truth whether you are in a place in life ready to hear it or not. And this will teach many about godliness. Truth is truth, God is God. Not everything can be manipulated to fit your agenda, and nowhere will this become clearer than when a practitioner begins their own communication with these unseen forces. So, what it's saying is essentially, it's not the tarot cards specifically that change your life. It's having that direct line of communication with people, things, beings that are real, but that you can't see. It's like getting hit with a truck full of facts and truth that our life on earth ain't shit. And that is what actually changes the course of your life, the awareness that you've got going on, etc., etc. So it's not really the cards as much as it is having that connection between yourself and the things that are real, that you can feel, but you can't necessarily see. That's what changes everything. Number 10, are there any don'ts when it comes to practicing tarot? I was genuinely curious because I never bothered to ask before. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm fucking up. Yes, there are quite a few don'ts when it comes to practicing tarot. We could do a whole separate conversation on this question alone. For the sake of this short video, we will list the most important and direct few. Do not ask questions that are unethical or detrimental to the health of a person. An example that they gave me is do not ask when someone will die. Do not under any circumstances lie during a reading to save face. If you are not understanding the message, pull again or just say so. That's a big one. Do not share your tarot decks with other persons. Your decks learn and speak to you specifically. Sharing with another practitioner will cause infighting and confusion, so just refrain from this. Do not replace a lost card within a deck. Buy a new deck. When this happens, the deck is incomplete and cannot operate at the same level it used to. A part of its story is taken away and the whole deck may be retired. Honor its sacrifice and welcome a new deck in its place. Now, I had this happen to me and I intuitively just bought a new deck. Like, I never replaced the card. So now I'm glad I did because that was a new one for me. I never knew. And I should have, but I didn't delve in further as to why. But anyway, it's there. I hope it helps. And the last one, do not chalk up the cards to luck or chance. Nothing is luck or chance. Let's begin to move away from this luck paradigm. 11. Final words of guidance about tarot. Tarot is for everyone to have equal opportunity to learn it. If there is an opportunity to learn it within your reach, take the chance as you would with any other desire without the stigma of evil. If you find it does not call to you, then try something else. Tarot is a wonderful journey through the human experience, and though not all will become great at it, all have the opportunity to learn it. Use preventive and protective treatments for your deck and yourself as you begin this journey into spiritual communication. There is no evil in tarot, there is only God and the absence of God. Both are found within the tarot reader, not the tarot itself. Proceed joyfully and without fear. Allow the tarot to tell you what you already deeply know and must be reminded of. Amen. Amen. So that was the end of kind of my Q&A session with the Akashic Records. Again, I hope it helps. There were a lot of hard facts dropped in there that might need some expanding or further interpretation if you've never heard of it. So I do my best to expand on it, but I also don't want to just like assume that y'all don't know anything. But if there's any questions, if there's anything you'd like me to expand on or just kind of explain a little more thoroughly, if I can, I will. Just make sure you drop a comment. Make sure you share this video, link it to people interested in learning tarot. I do teach classes for both intermediate tarot readers and beginner tarot readers. I do personalized Akashic sessions, like I'll bust them out, find out what you need to know, etc., etc. But yeah, keep me booked and busy, guys. I promise what I lack in consistency, I make up for by making every YouTube video count. Like, I'm not going to upload a YouTube video ever just to hear my own voice. Like, if I'm on here, it means A, I was told to be here, and B, I have some shit to say. Other than that, yeah, have a great day. Let me know if this helps. Let me know if anything really stood out to you or surprised you. I like talking to people. So converse with me, guys. Like, drop something in the comment. Let me know what's up. Let me know what you agree on, disagree on, etc., etc. And take care, everybody. Like, it's wild out there. I think the energies have been pretty deceptive and erratic lately. So I'm just kind of like, ooh, like, be careful. Make sure y'all are saying your prayers before you go to sleep and when you wake up in the morning. Either way, I'm sending you lots of warmth and lots of love. Mucho, mucho amor. And yeah, take care, everyone. Bye.